She was America's beloved witch, Samantha Stephens, with that signature nose twitch and a smile that lit up millions of homes. But behind the magic of Bewitched was a woman carrying scars far deeper than most ever imagined. Elizabeth Montgomery wasn't just a star, she was a survivor. And her story is a chilling journey through the darkest corridors of Hollywood's golden age, where power, betrayal, and silence cost her everything. Born on April 15, 1933 in Los Angeles, Elizabeth was destined for the spotlight. Her father, Robert Montgomery, was already a Hollywood heavyweight, but instead of guiding her, he controlled her like a puppet. From the time she was 7, Elizabeth was molded for the cameras, taught to smile, pose, and perform, not for art but for reputation. Her emotions were never hers to keep. They belonged to the screen. Behind her beauty and fame were 5 names, 5 men, who left Elizabeth emotionally shattered. Some were lovers. Some were enemies disguised as allies. All of them left marks that never healed. The first was Gig Young, the Hollywood heartthrob with the face of a prince and the heart of a tyrant. When Elizabeth met him, she was just 20, wide-eyed, hopeful, vulnerable. Gig was twice her age, a seasoned actor, and an emotional predator. What began as romance quickly turned into obsession. He isolated her, tracked her every move, screamed jealous threats on set. One night, after a violent outburst, he shattered a mirror and threatened to kill himself. Elizabeth fled and never looked back. Years later, Gig Young would marry another young woman and murder her just weeks after their wedding before taking his own life. Elizabeth never spoke to the press about him, but in a private letter she wrote, "I once loved a monster and almost died for him." Her second tormentor? William Asher, her husband and the director of Bewitched. To the world, they were the golden couple. Behind closed doors, Elizabeth was living in a scripted nightmare. Asher controlled every inch of her, the lines she said, the way she dressed, the emotions she showed. Even while pregnant, she endured the humiliation of his affairs, one of which she caught firsthand in her own trailer. That night, she nearly ended her life. The divorce came in 1973, but the emotional devastation lingered for decades. In a later interview, she confessed, "If I had real magic, I'd erase him from my memory forever." But not all wounds come from husbands or lovers. Some are inflicted in silence, with no fingerprints. That was Fred Silverman, the TV mogul with invisible strings. Silverman, one of the most powerful executives in television history, didn't need threats. A single phone call could end a career. And when Elizabeth refused his behind-closed-doors script meeting, the consequences were swift. Projects were canceled. Rumors spread. A smear campaign whispered that she was unstable, difficult, unreliable. She had said no, and for that she was punished without mercy. One assistant would later reveal, he never touched her. He didn't have to. He destroyed her with silence. The fourth name? Aaron Spelling, the television kingmaker behind Dynasty, Charlie's Angels, and the very show that made Elizabeth a star. First, she believed he was her creative partner. But when she asked for more serious roles or creative control, Spelling quietly blacklisted her. Directors were warned. Roles disappeared. Even when she pushed to direct a Bewitched special, Spelling brought back her abusive ex-husband to direct it instead. Elizabeth collapsed from a panic attack and vanished from the studio for weeks. "He didn't scream or hit," she later wrote. "He erased me with contracts." And finally, there was the betrayal that cut the deepest. Henry Herbert, her trusted media consultant and close friend. He helped craft her image, dined with her weekly, and held her secrets. But in 1977, after Elizabeth launched her first independent TV project, scandal erupted. Tabloids accused her of an affair with a female actress, complete with doctored photos. Sponsors fled. The show collapsed. Months later, her lawyer traced the leak back to Henry, the man she once called the only person who knows the real me. He had sold her out for profit, trying to repurpose her project for another studio after she refused to sign over rights. Elizabeth locked herself away for months. In a posthumously published diary, she wrote, "I can forgive a man who left me. I cannot forgive the one who turned my smile into a weapon." 5 men, 5 betrayals, and one woman who carried it all behind a mask of magic and charm. Elizabeth Montgomery died in 1995 at the age of 62, still adored by fans who never knew the pain behind her eyes. She was more than Samantha. She was a voice stifled, a heart bruised, a talent caged. And in the end, she refused to stay silent. She named names. She told her story. And though Hollywood tried to erase it, the truth remains. Who do you think hurt her the most? Let us know in the comments. And remember, behind every perfect smile, there can be a story that was never meant to be told.